Fortnite's Collision Live event has finally wrapped up and Geno has been revealed on top of a crazy amount of secrets and Easter eggs, so let's break it all down. One of the most talked about moments was when Dr. Sloan was crushed by the mecha team leader's hand. And of course when it happened, we all had one thought: did Fortnite really just kill off Sloan? Well, it turns out that if you watch the event back, you could spot her quickly getting into the tank to blow up Agent Jones. But before she could do so, that's when the mech strikes. Because Sloan was actually in the tank at this point, it is safe to say she probably survived. I mean, she somehow got herself out of this, so I'm not writing her off anytime soon. But one of the coolest secrets in the event could be found before it even started. As we were brought to the lobby, we could actually see the moon base of the 7, and it was filled with Easter eggs. One of these was a 7 rocket that you could spot on the launch pad. We've seen these throughout the years, but never on the moon. Either this is how the 7 got to the moon in order to build the mech, or it could be the very first rocket from all those years ago. But while the live event didn't actually include other characters like the sisters or the scientists, the 7 were still able to introduce their newest member of the team.
My own 70 name.
No.
Now just stay with me here. Like what about the infiltrator or ooh, the hunter? Ooh, the legend.
You want me to call you the legend?
Oh, so we got one vote for the legend. Great.
Okay, at first it just seems like a funny bit to keep us entertained in the lobby. But once the live event actually begins, Jones hasn't changed his mind.
After all, they do call me the legend.
Copy that.
During the event, you could actually hear Paradigm call Jones the Legend. It is official, he is the newest member of the 7, or, well, I guess the 8. Anyway, he deserves it. We couldn't have defeated the IO without his help, of course, although the huge mech also played a big part. Despite us shooting tanks with the robot's cannons and lasers, it had way more in store for us, because when we get near the collider, the mecha team leader wields an energy sword, and this is actually a subtle reference to Halo's iconic weapon. Not only that, but this moment is a callback to the original final showdown, when the robot pulls out a huge sword from Neo Tilted. And it's not even the best throwback. While we're making our way through the underground cave, you can watch the 0-point flicker through realities. And the first one we see is actually a Durburger. This is a reference to the real-life mascot the people spotted in the desert in 2018. It is the same burger that rifted Drift into the Fortnite world. So technically this image we saw for a couple seconds in the event is a portal to our reality. Nice little touch of detail. And of course everyone saw what was up next. Obi-Wan Kenobi in a brand new hooded edit style was seen dueling with Darth Vader. This is the official Vader skin that will be included in Tier 100 of the Season 3 Battle Pass, and we cannot wait to get our hands on it. What Fortnite live events do best is their huge attention to detail. There's always something to appreciate, and Collision is full of small details. One of these is the heart cannon that we could use in the event. Something as simple as firing this beam at the fortress had a lot of personality behind it. When you fire the cannon, it creates a rainbow heart around the laser, and the cloud of smoke in the distance is also heart-shaped. But did you know this feature was accidentally exposed by Epic just a couple days ago? Yes, when the Mecha Team Leader crew skin was released, players realized that you could equip certain pickaxes and it would reveal the heart cannon. We knew all this time! But back on the Ice Moon, it was pretty easy to spot things like the Visitor rocket. But if you zoomed in even more, you might have noticed this Moon Rover vehicle. It is the exact same one you can see in the Lil Rover emote, but who knows, maybe this could be a vehicle next season. But I gotta admit, the most famous vehicle of the day was the one driven by Peely during the event. It came in and easily stole the show, helping us to heal up the mech with slurp juice. But what some players might not know is that this little moment actually had weeks of build up to it. You see, Peely started taking driving lessons at the start of the season, and he definitely wasn't the greatest student, but he got more confident and eventually decided he wanted to drive a truck. Looking back, we're all pretty grateful that Peely didn't give up on those lessons, and it's just so awesome to see the side stories actually have an impact on live events. And the attention to detail doesn't stop there. While clearing the asteroids and flying to the island, we almost crashed into the remains of an abductor from Chapter 2. After facing off against the last reality, one of the UFOs is still floating around in space, so it's pretty cool to see how time has changed since then. But it turns out that's not the only thing you could spot while in space, because for a moment you could catch the battle bus crossing the island. Even in the middle of an all-out war, the bus driver is on time. I mean, you just love to see it. And that's not the only part of the event where Epic left a secret for the community. In the middle of the fight, brutes joined the battlefield, and for some reason they literally had jetpacks. I mean, come on Epic, these things don't need any more upgrades. Now hopefully it's not going to be added to the mechs in game, but what's really funny is that the Paradigm says exactly what we were all thinking when they showed up. I mean, even Epic loved to joke about how terrible the mechs really were. But for all the keen-eyed players out there, they might have noticed that the asteroids from the moon base look strangely familiar. Now that we know this base has existed for years, it's probably safe to say these are the same asteroids from Chapter 1, and it is crazy just how many there are. And while we're on the topic of Chapter 1, the most iconic weapon of Fortnite is about to be unvaulted. Since Chapter 3 began, we have had no sign of the Scar, but when Jones appeared in the live event, he was holding it. Could be a reference to the Scar being Jonesy's signature weapon over the years, but maybe it is more than that. If Epic teased us with the Scar and it doesn't make it into Season 3, I am seriously gonna be so sad. But for a secret that 99% of players missed in the event, you could actually catch a glimpse of upcoming skins for Season 3. Yep, if you loaded into the game without 4 people, the placeholder pilot was an unreleased starter pack skin for Season 3, which is a subtle teaser. And when leakers went into the files after the event had finished, they discovered that the 0 Point had a lot more in store for us. Apparently, the 0 Point teased the Chapter 1 island and the Imposters pre-lobby. Nobody on the team, including myself, caught a glimpse of this, so let me know in the comments if any of you guys did. While we were staring at the 0 Point looking for the Chapter 1 map, we got something even more shocking. After years of anticipation, Fortnite revealed our very first look at the evil leader of the Imagined Order, Geno. I don't think any of us expected him to look like this, but while we were shocked by his haunting orange eyes, barely anyone noticed the rest of his outfit. If you look closely, you can see something that resembles the same shoulder piece worn by the Origin and the Cube Queen. Now, others think this is actually a smoke effect that wraps around his neck, which would look equally as terrifying. Either way, we are still desperate to see what Geno actually looks like, although Fortnite may have revealed it months ago. In this exclusive Dr. Stone loading screen, she could be seen talking to a creature from another reality. Could this be one of Geno's many forms? And if so, then he is way more terrifying than we ever imagined. And he's not the only person hiding something. When we found out about the Iceman's existence, our minds were blown. The fact that the Fortnite island actually has other planets outside of it has changed the way we look at the storyline entirely. And while using the mech's cannons, you could actually see another moon in the distance. Even further away is a second planet, so there's tons of places that we might explore in the future. But the weirdest part is that the secret planet only appears for a handful of players. For those who play Fortnite on low graphic settings, they might have realized that this distant moon doesn't appear for them at all. Super weird, right? But now that we're all sat here waiting for downtime to end, Fortnite has officially revealed the theme for Season 3. It is apparently called the Vibe-In, and the vice president of Epic Games also described the season as chill. So it's looking like next season will all be about summer and relaxation. And we've even got an official reveal of 3 new Battle Pass skins, introducing Evie, Malik, and Adira. They were announced through this Fortnite lookbook, which definitely makes me feel like next season is gonna lean pretty heavily on the fashion theme. Pretty crazy that we've just gone from an all-out war with tanks and blimps to lo-fi mushrooms, but even something as simple as the to be continued screen has an insane secret behind it. Listen to this, all of the music playing in Fortnite right now is actually procedurally generated. They're not real songs, they're being made by an AI using Unreal Engine, meaning it is copyright free too. What's even cooler is that this part of the event was foreshadowed just minutes before.
Would you like to build your combat playlist?
Radio off.
You've selected Smooth Jazz or Meth Pilots.
Radio off.
Radio power is down.
That is definitely a downtime screen we're all gonna remember. Even the mushrooms, plants, and water light up and react to the beat. And that's not the only secret it's hiding, because these mushrooms look identical to the Madcap skin. I mean, maybe he's from this strange place too. And it looks like these aren't the only new plants we'll be seeing. We'll also be getting reality saplings in Season 3, which will apparently give us fruit. Kinda sounds a lot like the clownberry bushes, but with even more updates. As well as the new saplings, we'll also be seeing a brand new teleportation seed. They could work a lot like the 0 Point shards from Chapter 2, or maybe just straight up teleport us. What's even more interesting is that Season 3 will give us reality geysers, which is probably a consumable that lets us glide into the air. And it looks like finally we're gonna get a long-awaited feature, rideable animals. Yes, a new milestone has been leaked for next season that gets players to travel distance on creatures. It is very likely we'll see the return of raptors and maybe new animals to tame and ride. Another leak is that ballers will return next season. After being updated several times throughout Season 2, we are finally getting them. And they could even come with changes like extra HP. But from vehicles to weapons, the heavy assault rifle is also making a comeback, and I'm not sure why, since the Ranger AR is practically the same thing, but maybe they'll have some new changes to it. Sadly though, for those of us with rare weapons like the Hop Rock Dualies or Sloan's Mythic, you you might want to say goodbye. Everything we had at tents before the event began has just disappeared forever. Thanks to the new season, tents have been wiped, and the same goes for your victory crowns. But even though Season 3 hasn't even started yet, we already have an idea of when it's gonna end. It turns out that Season 3 might actually be the second longest season in Fortnite history, as it's currently set to end in early October. And that is everything you missed in Fortnite's Collision event, as well as some Season 3 secrets. Hope you all enjoyed. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.